Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What's happening? So we're going to discuss some Forex pairs tonight. We're going to do the Forex Weekly Outlook, take a look at some majors, maybe a few minors. Anything you guys want to take a look at, it's fair game tonight. Thank you so much for showing up. It looks like my chat is connected. For some reason it was disconnecting and then reconnecting, so we will see what happens. Everything seems to be running just fine on my end, so let's get into this. All right, so first and foremost, we're going to look at the pound dollar. If you are new to this channel, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. The pound dollar is my most favoriteest pair in the world to trade. A lot of people don't like it because it does do a lot of whipsaw action. However, it moves super fast. So it's actually one of the fastest moving Forex pairs we have to trade, which is why most standard US brokers will not allow you to trade more than 20x on it. Other pairs you can hit all the way up to 50x leverage, but not this one. But it moves and takes up for that leverage just in the sheer pippage that it likes to move. So last week we destroyed this thing as a short trade on Thursday. I went over it pretty good this morning. So basically we were looking for this to happen. If you were tuning in on Thursday mornings, very early live stream, we were talking about the pound dollar offering up a better risk to reward because it was going up, the dollar was going up, and the Euro USD was at support. So we never want to take a short into support. I basically said, once we get above this wick high, I am going to look to short this asset. We got that. Short played out absolutely perfect. Could not have been a better entry, and boom, hit our targets. The very next day we had NFP, and I basically said on Thursday evening on Twitter, if you did take this short trade, beware, as NFP could put a bid back underneath the pound and the euro. So all of yesterday's short today's short could absolutely be retraced, and we got that. Now, this is an 8-hour chart. You can see in the New York session, this thing just blasted off. You get a new 8-hour candle at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this move basically took place at 8:30. That was when NFP came out. Big range expansion on the day, and then the rest of the session basically traded a little bit up to down to sideways. So what are we looking for on the pound? Well, to be honest with you, I am bullish on the pound longer term, and I'm going to go over why. This trend line right here that you see is a trend line that's been keeping the pound dollar under it in its entire history of trading right here, okay? This is the log scale. If you change the log scale, then this trend line has already been closed above, retested, and this quarter making a trending candle to the upside. So we are looking for this thing to continue higher. This is on log. You can see last quarter we traded up into it and rejected. This quarter we are making a trending candle above it. There is 24 days left on the second quarter 2021. All right, so the next month is going to be vital for this thing if it's going to get that first ever close above this trend line. All right, you can see I have quarterly resistance right here on this bullish candle marked by that little Q right there. If I take you into a monthly, you will see that that level is also perfect monthly resistance. Once this closed at it at the exact same price, you can see it has never been able to close a monthly back above that until last month. If you look at last month's candle, it is a very strong bullish candle, meaning the order flow for all of that month was absolutely bullish. When you get a strong bullish push like this above a very crucial resistance area, it will be roughly the midpoint of that bullish candle. So basically you can trade all the way back down on this red month, all the way back down to one spot, 40129, and still remain phenomenally bullish on the pound dollar. So for the rest of this month, it is June the 6th. So we have, 24 days left. you can see some whipsaw action sideways to down, right? And that does not mean the pound is not bullish anymore. People have too narrow-minded of a range when they go to trade these things. Yes, I am an intraday scalper. So for me to talk to you about quarterly charts is probably pretty unorthodox. They are extremely important. For you to learn how to trade inside of these financial markets, you must know that big investment banks, hedge funds, massive firms that have massive amounts of liquidity that trade these assets do so, enter and exit positions on a quarterly basis. As there are 4 quarters in a year, those quarters are very important in the financial industry. So make sure you keep an eye on where your quarterlies are. Here we go. So basically, we did retrace all of that move. That's a 4-hour resistance. 4-hour resistance are not nearly as important as 8-hour and daily resistance for intraday scalps. So let's go ahead and go get on our daily resistance level. Our daily resistance level, let's mark it in as a daily so that way people understand what I'm talking about, is 1.41714. This last bullish up close candle has held daily price action under it. So this is a legitimate test of daily resistance and you closed under, all right? If this was going to break, I would want to have seen it close a little higher. This is still good. So I am still leaning more bullish. You have made, though, in the near term, I'm just letting you know all of the things that are in the market. On the near term, you have put in a low, a lower high, and a lower low. So you have started a downtrend in the pound dollar. All right? It's important to know that. In FX, pairs can absolutely whipsaw back and forth. Trending conditions are very, they don't happen quite often. But the last 2 quarters, we have had phenomenal trending markets. So right now, we will just have to wait and see what's going to happen. I never take a trade on Sunday. I will be looking first thing in the morning at the New York Open to see if there is a position here or not. So we're going to sit on our hands with the pound and see if it wants to get a daily closure back above 1.41714. If that happens tomorrow, that would be fantastic. We can start to resume our bullish looking positions. If we do not get that, then we will look to continue to short this thing. Since I'm an intraday scalper, I look for daily opportunities. I do not trade every day. Last week, I took one FX trade all week, and it was that one, and it was a fantastic trade. Right? I took a couple crypto trades, but in FX, I only took that one. I do not trade that often as my setups must be 100% perfect or I'm not wasting my time. That would be a good thing for you to start to do in this world so that way you can focus on really good setups and then record that data. It will only help you in the future to become a better trader. So since this was daily support, any bearish closing candle, as long as it's maintaining that closure, is the support level. You got a breach of the support level with this candle and a massive close below. So this daily candle, you traded right back up into support, all right? Or old support should have been resistance. You got a daily close above that. That is called a supply zone, or if you're not familiar with the CTM, it is a Heath level, aka daily order block, whatever you want to call it. So that should have held, but it didn't. So since you got a daily close above, we will be looking for this resistance level at 1.41714. You can see we are trying to get above it right now. So we will be seeing if this thing can close a daily above it, or if we're trading back down in here, we will look for short side setups for the rest of the week on the pound dollar. If we're closing above this right here, we will be looking for bullish setups. What's happening, everybody? Glad you could make it. Ajith Cosman says smash the like. Yes, if you would do that, I would be greatly appreciative of it. What is happening, everybody? All right, so let's go check out the euro dollar. Let's see what we got going on over here. So the euro dollar did do the same thing, but what you can see that is different on the euro that you do not have on the pound is euro never made it back above support. our support levels, or my strategy, your support is the lowest bullish closing daily. That is support. Not this one, not this one, not this one, this one. If price is above these bearish candles, then you can look at them to be support to see if they hold. All right. If you get a breach below the lowest close, you have taken out support on a daily closing basis in spectacular fashion. Friday, you retested that old support as resistance. You closed below it. All right. You closed below it. So it will be up to the bulls to get this pushing up higher. And not only do you need a closure above 121,758 on a daily closing basis to relegate this thing moving higher, you will also need to get a closure above that one as well. As anything inside of this zone closing beneath it will be looked at with selling pressure, because you have started a new downtrend as well on the euro. Here's your high, here's your lower high, here is your low, there's your lower low. That's all it takes to justify a downtrend in these financial markets, is one swing of price. This is one swing. You have this to down, that's your low. You set in a lower high, and then you break that lower low. That is your price leg to the downside, starting your new downtrend. On the euro, if I'm bullish on the pound, obviously I'm also kind of sort of bullish on the euro. The euro is extremely heavily weighted in the DXY more than any other asset, so it almost trades inversely to the DXY. Not 100% inverse, but damn closer than any other asset out there. All right, so basically this thing is going to do the opposite of the dollar. We were watching the dollar. I can basically tell you what we were looking at on this. All right, so this section of price action right here, this is your quarterly open. You are testing quarterly open resistance. Obviously, when you get into big levels like a quarter open, you will see massive amounts of buying pressure and selling pressure across the board. This is essentially price discovery. All right, it is still structured to the bullish side. If you pull it out here, you can see basically this was Q1 2021. Q1, you put in your high in January. You did nothing but trade straight down for all Q1. Q2 was right here. Look how beautiful Q2. April the 1st starts second quarter 2021. You traded straight up. If that's not a fantastically trending market, I do not know what is. So we will wait to see. Is Q3 of 2021 going to be an inside quarter of Q2, or are we going to get a breakout and a trend continuation in Q3? If that is the fact, if that does happen, you are sitting at a beautiful spot to look for longer term trending trades to the upside on the euro. If it's going to be an inside quarter, however, inside of this price leg, all right, so to be inside means you have to trade beneath that high and beneath this low. That would put you as an inside quarter. That would mean that the investors aren't certain as to which way they want to put their funds, right? So if you get that, you can be relegated to a whole lot of choppy sideways action, and it can make it difficult to be trading it if you are a trend trader. If you are a range trader and you love choppy sideways action, then that is your kind of market. But I do believe we are going to continue the trend to the upside, just because of the fact that they're trying to get another $6 trillion bill passed. To put that into perspective, guys, $6 trillion, if you put them in $100 bills and stack them one on top of another, $1 trillion would not fit into a semi-tractor trailer. $1 trillion would not fit inside of a semi-truck's trailer. That's a lot of dough, and they want to do that 6 times. That will cause bearish reaction in the dollar, assuming it goes through. The bill has not made it through, so we will see what happens. But if that does happen, I'm looking for like prices up to and around 126 by the end of the year, to say the least. Excuse me. Got my drink in hand. Absolutely love Sunday evenings as it is the open of the Forex market. The Forex market is my favorite market to trade in. So what we're going to look for this week on the euro, if you cannot get that daily closure back above your resistance level over here, we will be looking for short side setups. All right, for the week to come. Let's go look at the weekly and see what kind of price action we have on the weekly. So here you got it. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're starting a 5th week trading at the open of the quarter. So it looks like it's having trouble, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When you have 3 wicks like that, that does not signify selling pressure. It just means that the bulls are unable to get closures above a specific level. However, those wicks become targets for bullish price traders. All right, for me and all other professionals out there, if we are going to be looking for targets, we will be targeting those wick highs. If we are looking for bearish targets for this week, we will be targeting this week low. This wasn't quite an outside week, as you did not take out the previous week's high, but you can see you did take out the previous week's low with spectacular fashion. The fact that you closed all the way back up here, though, says something, as it's not a full-on outside week reversal, all right, or a weekly bearish engulfing, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a sideways candle. It's basically saying, I don't know if I want to go up or down, which is beautiful for us, because if we start trading higher, like if we get a daily close above 121,945, we know we're looking for a bullish target up to there. Let's just see how many pips we get out of that. That would be a 68 pip trade. Fantastic trade. If we cannot close a daily candle back above that, we will be targeting this wick low. That's a 69 pip trade to the downside. Fantastic. The only trade you need all week may be staring us in the face right now. I will let you know Tuesday morning what I think is going to happen. Now, of course, this is also bearing in mind that we don't take those levels out tonight or tomorrow, because it can happen. I did not expect that big of a move on the dollar last week on Thursday, but we got it nonetheless. So it's possible we could see some sideways consolidation here while they figure out which direction they want to take the market. I'm going to shoot near term to the downside, but I do believe it finds support and then moves up roughly around the end of the month into the beginning of next month. We should probably see some bullish price action. If we don't, we will keep looking for short side setups on the euro dollar. All right, if for some unforeseen reason the dollar goes higher, we will absolutely be looking to buy the dollar, meaning short the euro, short the pound. All right, pound yen had a fantastic week last week. Took out, well, it was the week before, but it took out this resistance level. So you have been forming an inside range on this asset. You do have support at 154.510. This thing is extremely extended to the upside. It can keep going, absolutely. The daily RSI looks okay. You are trading above the bearish control zone. You don't have any massive divergences. I do not care about this divergence way over here, as that was a half a year ago almost. Now, I mean, it was back in March, 3 months ago. It does not matter. That bearish divergence got played out right there. All right. Then the RSI resituated itself and bulls picked it up. So you do have bullish momentum on this asset. Your 21 and 50 EMA is pointed up, as well as your 100 and 200s, all at pointing up. That's bullish momentum. I don't care about where they are. Seeing how you're getting ready to push into the 21, that means it is situated for another possible run to the upside. So watch 154.510. Do not just blindly buy that area. Make sure you get a daily closure above that level first. All right, you don't need to take the trade once it goes into the level. You can simply take the trade on the next day when it retests the level. That's the time you enter a bullish position, targeting your first area of resistance, which would be 155.612. All right, so pound yen, if you're trading above 154.510 on a daily closing basis, you will be looking for bullish setups. You get a daily closure below that, you're coming all the way down to your next area of support at 153.841. However, if you lose that, you will be targeting this wick low, as it was the last wick low on the daily. That is a bearish target. So technically, the way this chart looks, you could literally trade all the way down to that wick low, take out that bearish target, and then it may look attractive for bulls to step back in this asset, pick it up, and keep moving higher. So let's go look at the yen index before we make any dramatic decisions. So if you've been following me since last November, which is when I put the channel public, you know that we traded this and we caught that move to the downside. And since that big run to the downside, what have we done? Well, we've been trading sideways inside of a range because it is in price discovery. If you do get a break below this low and bearish continuation, you will be looking for long against any currency paired against the yen. All right. If this thing is unable to break support down here, you may be getting ready to move up a little bit. It did have such a massive move to the downside, but the Japanese yen hasn't been a very trending. It was, but it was choppy to say the least, right? Just making little impulse legs and almost pulling completely back. Basically trading into one of the most fantastic, beautiful channels I have ever seen for such a long time. It did it forever and ever. So we will see what happens. That is also why you did have a massive move lower once you broke beneath that channel. All right? Would have been doing the same thing basically if you would have broke out to the upside. That's consolidation. It's range bound consolidation, slightly up, big breakdown beneath. Basically everybody that got long at the bottom of that trend line got stopped out, which added more fuel to the fire to the downside. So this move has played out. Essentially, since you marked your low down here, you've just been trading sideways, but it looks to me like the bears are keeping it below 92.99. It is an important area. It's a weekly level, right? So that's what's up on the yen. It's trading kind of like a bear flag, but it's almost breaking that. I'm not a pattern trader, guys. I'm a price action analyst. I do not care about head and shoulders, cup and handles, and any of those things. Bear flags, bull flags, they all mean nothing to me. And this proves it. Look at this. This is called a liquidity crisis. You went down, you stopped out the market for several years to the downside, and then whoop, went all the way up there, stopped out the market to the upside for several years. Price does not trade based on patterns. Sometimes they do become a self-fulfilling prophecy. However, that's not what makes the markets move. So we would be checking it out. All right. So that's basically if you're looking for Aussie yens and stuff like that. The pound yen is going to basically do whatever the pound does. So if the pound dollar starts to get some bearish price action, and you can probably look for a little bit of bearish price action in the pound yen. It doesn't trade exactly the same, obviously, because it's paired against two different currencies, but that's basically what you're looking for. Aussie yen doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. No momentum to the upside or to the downside. You are essentially trading at 50 on the RSI, which is bullish. As long as you're above 50 on the RSI, you are bullish. If you are below 50, the overall trend is bearish, or the overall market sentiment is bearish. So basically, this looks like it wants to break down to me. It looks like it's losing all of its momentum. It looks like it's losing all of its steam. You have lost your 21 EMA, but then you got right back above it. So basically, it's just playing catch me if you can. I took a trade on this last week looking for a breakdown, and I got stopped out. Because it's not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? If it's not doing anything, you're probably going to get stopped out depending on where you entered it at. If you were one of the lucky few that entered it up here, hang on to it, man. I think you're on the right side of the market. Yes, it's structured bullishly. You are trading above everything. You had tons and tons of divergence. The divergence is already played out, but you can see you're just doing nothing on this asset. So a big move is in this asset's future, I believe. If you break up or break down, that will be the continuation pattern to look for. All right. Your next area of support on this asset is this candle right here. Multiple tests of it. It held a support 84 spot 298. That is your near-term support. If you're bearish on this asset, wait until you get a daily closure below there, please. Then look to maybe position yourself short on a retest if it gives it to you. Don't just blindly start shorting it up here, because it did test support and you've lost it. Now you have not become bullish yet, as this is your resistance up here. You are trading inside of this candle's daily range for this day will be today. So are we going to break out to the upside or to the downside? Friday was an inside day, meaning choppy sideways price action. Resistance to get up over. You get above that on a daily closing basis, me and my team will be looking to put in some bullish trades on this thing, looking for higher prices. We do have several bullish targets setting up above us, and we also have several bearish targets sitting down below us. First bearish target, if we do get a daily closure below that, would be this 83.974. Be this right here if we get a daily closure above that. Obviously, this wick high would be your first target, all right? But if you do get that break a close above, your moving averages will be situated nice and pretty underneath of you. That will coax algos and bots into purchasing pullbacks on this asset. You could get a pretty nice bullish move to the upside and some continuation as well if you do break out of this. It's a lot of consolidation. This thing is winding up, so I must be dropping a ton of frames. So, all right, that's pretty much it, guys. NZD yen not looking this. It's basically doing the same. It's putting in this channel. I mean, that's a beautiful channel, is it not? So just wait for the breakdown, either out of it or above it, right? That's all it is. If you're looking for an entry on this thing, you can't do anything while it's doing this. Longer term, the structure's to the upside. RSI is trading above 50. It's actually right at the 50 marker. So you may be getting a breakdown on this asset. I can see that. This is beautiful. This was your bullish target. Your target was hit right there. Oh, that became the target. But you can see what I'm saying. 2 big bullish days to the upside, and then you retrace it. If this area holds and you get continuation, you're looking for bullish setups. If you get a breakdown below, just keep an eye on that up ascending trend line there. But the level you will want to see broken is that 78.183 level. Definitely need a daily closure below that to take away this bullish impulse move to the upside. As of right now, you're probably testing roughly right around the 618 or the 50% retracement level on the bullish move. Look at that, beautifully, 618. So you are still kind of bullish. A daily closure below the 618 would be looking to me like it wants to come down and test that support level, but I'm not going to do anything until I get a breakdown below it, a daily close below it. Then I will start to look for short side setups. All right, then and only then, as this price swing will be essentially a bull trap. That's all it would have been. S&P 500 is bullish. I mean, I was looking for sideways to down. This is your yearly open all the way down here. No, here. Nope, down here. Let's see where it is. Just give me a second. Yep, it's the lower one. So this is your yearly open. The S&P 500 is trading about 13% on the year. So you're up almost 13% on the year. That's pretty damn good for the S&P 500 index, as the average is roughly 8 to 12%. So I was actually looking for it to trade sideways to down until around August or September, when the markets start to pick back up. But obviously the Fed has just got its automatic buying machine gun at these lows, just hitting it up, keeping it up. S&P 500 is not allowed to go down. This was a fake out move to the downside. You did close back above your support level. See that? See how that works? Let's go show you. Let me show you. There is your support level right there. Lowest bearish close. Look at this day, Thursday. Big move to the downside. Cleared that stop target, or that target. All those targets took out to the downside. That was the trade. This thing traded all the way back up and closed above resistance. That's bullish, right? That's bullish when you see something like that. Next day, traded lower to get people thinking it was going to the downside, and then boom, shakalaka. Right back up into your face. Here's your first bullish target. You already pierced that next bullish target right there on the S&P 500, 42, 45, spot 50. So how do you trade that? Well, you simply wait for a pullback down to 42.14 spot 60 or a pullback down to 42.08 spot 60. This is a fantastic area to look for bullish entries. Doesn't matter if it takes 3 or 4 days to get down there. Once it gets down there, I would be watching the daily close, see if it closes above it, and boom, that would be my target. All right, I would take 2/3 of my position off and move my stop to break even and leave just a small portion of your original trade on to see if you can catch some bullish continuation. As when people try to expect too much, that's when they get hurt. If you have a systematic approach, you will do fine, guys. USD Japanese yen. This thing has really been upsetting me. I was looking for bullish price action. We have been getting it. But when you trade down and you take out your bullish low, right, it screams bearish to me. So I haven't been messing around with it as it's been doing this. Like, this is kind of what you want to see, that kind of wave motion. But you don't want to see your bullish trends getting completely retraced and then go up, as it makes it difficult to get situated into a position. All right, it definitely is trending up. You are definitely making higher highs and higher lows from this section of price. This has been bullish right here. All right, so we will see. We will see. It just doesn't seem right to me that this thing's going to keep going up if the euro and pound are going up, but it is doing it. The reason it's doing it is because there is a 1.5% interest rate difference between our interest rates and the Japanese yen interest rates. That is making it attractive for bullish positions for the carry trade or the swap. All right, so that's why I was looking for bullish entries, but like I said, it never did really give it to me. I mean, right here you trade for a solid week at support. You even closed below it, but you did nothing else. So yeah, I missed that, but it's okay. We will keep watching it. This is a bearish engulfing, aka outside daily reversal pattern. Did you get a close below support? No, you did not. So do not be looking for bearish setups on this. Let tomorrow play out. Let tomorrow close. If this is going to be bearish, you will get a bearish close on the day tomorrow. Then Tuesday or Wednesday, you can look for pullbacks to that level and then possibly look for short side setups. All right. But your first target would be this Heath level down here at 108 spot 901, or this first demand zone right there. That would be the extent of your trade. All right. Here's gold. Gold is doing exactly what we said. It's nice. It's trading up. People wanted me to give them bullish positions last week and a little bit the week before, and I said, no, you cannot take bullish positions when a trade has extended itself this much. You are in exhaustion risk. There's your exhaustion. Boom. You took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days of price action in one day. That's exhaustion. All right. You came back up, basically tested old support. It held so far. It did close right below old support. So it is now resistance right there. You can see how that works, right? Boom, but you closed right there. Where? Oh, this is gold. It isn't open yet. So, yeah. It doesn't look bearish to me. I want it to trade all the way down to 180, 1837 spot 48, as that would be when I would like to take bullish setups on this thing. Is that a big enough pullback to look for bullish entries? Sure, yeah, if you're only targeting your resistance at 1908. If you're targeting 1950 or 2000, you are not doing it right. This is the highs. All right, let it pull back down to here and see if this holds a support and then continues higher. Gold turned around about the same time Bitcoin turned around, guys. That is called capital rotation. If you are new to the markets, when they take money out of one asset and put it into another asset to protect the profits they made on the fantastic, massive, huge, epic bullish push on Bitcoin we had. All right. They took their money out and they rotated into gold. That's why gold's going up and Bitcoin's going down. All right. So if Bitcoin's going to continue to be bullish, then I would assume they have rotated out of gold again and put it into Bitcoin. However, right now, you're looking for pullback entries to 1837 spot 48 on gold. That's where you're looking. And if you do hold that as support, then you will be looking for bullish entries. Here is your moving averages. Beautiful daily golden cross right there in your face. When the 20 and the 50 EMA crosses, the 50 and the 200, apologies, that's called a golden cross. Your 21 is caressing current price. You may not get a push back down to 1837, as that's a lot of bullish momentum. You are structured bullish. You are looking for bullish setups. I just don't like it where it is currently. All right, here's your RSI trading well above the 50 spot. So once again, everything looks good, looks bullish. You definitely want to be looking for bullish entries, but you do want it to chill out a bit, just a bit. All right, once you get that, then yeah, we can look for bullish entries. Loving it, and I'll go check out silver, and then I will answer your questions. Here is silver. Silver did exactly the same thing. We were looking for a bullish target up here. If you got a daily close above your daily resistance, you never got that. Therefore, your target was never achieved. Had you got a daily close above 28 spot 17, I would have been targeting this area, and chances are the probabilities would have been it would have gotten hit. Since you did not get that daily close, you tried to get up there, but you were rejected. Next day was a pullback. There's your range expansion to the downside. You have started a near-term downtrend on this asset. There's your high. There's your lower high. There's your low. There's your lower low. All right? And it's basically the same on gold, kind of, sort of. But gold in this is still positioned bullish. Let's see where our moving averages are on this thing, just to get an idea as to what we're looking at. Yeah, that's nice. That's what we want to see, kind of, sort of, really, right? Moving averages all above each other. That's beautiful. That's bullish. Now let's look at the RSI. Give this thing time to pull back to the 50 area, and it pulled back to the 50 area. So beautiful. Silver looks better for bullish entries than gold, just because of that fact alone. All right, that is enough of a pullback on an asset's momentum for bulls to pick it back up again. So you will see if they do. I would not be doing it specifically because you got a daily close below resistance, and I'm a price action trader, right? Price action's telling me, yeah, it looks like it's wanting to go lower. If you get a daily closure back above resistance, which is now this price here, 28 spot 17, then you can look for pullback trades into support to get long, targeting that wick high. And that's your profit target, right? That's where you take profits. All right, guys, what is happening? Let me get to the chat. What's up, chat? Hello, Janet. Hello, Bay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. AMC says super circles. Let's go look at it. We destroyed AMC. We got this move up. I basically told you guys on the morning live stream to wait for a pullback into weekly resistance. You got that. It did trade a little bit lower than resistance, but as soon as you get a daily closure back above, that then becomes a bear trap. That is your entry, right? That's when you're looking for bullish entries. This thing worked out fantastically beautiful. Like, you can't make it up. It is just fantastic. Let me get this trend line on there. Trend lines do tend to hold a bit of weight in stocks. So that was the trend line. So you got 2-3 days closing beneath your trend line. So that was support. That would get bears on the bear side of the market. That is why you have a short squeeze. Once you got back above that trend line, look at the bullish breakout you got. The reason you got this bullish breakout is because all the stops were setting above 1065, right? That's where the stops were. Anybody that got short in here, their stops are above that trend line. Got a break above and boom. This is your pullback entry. You're bullish, so you're looking for pullback entries. This one took 3-4 days. Then your entry was situated. You could have absolutely gotten bullish and crushed it from $10, $11 up to $67. But I don't like to do the woulda, coulda, shoulda game. All right, I keep it real on this channel. we called this out before it ever happened. So it's fantastic. Moving on. There's nothing to do on AMC right now, my friend. Nothing at all. You are facing exhaustion risk. You have had a move straight up. There is your short squeeze. If you look at Tesla in the past and GameStop and a few other stocks, when you do get a massive short squeeze, they can technically run for months, right? They can run for a long time. However, there's no high probable setup. There's no high probable setup. So the best you could do is wait for a support test, all right? First support is this bullish candle right there. Let's get rid of this. This was a trade that I took on a 5-minute chart, so we'll get rid of that. That was just an intraday scalp. But here you go, right there. That's your first bearish candle. So that's the opening price of it. So that is your first daily demand zone. So you want to see it pull back to that 31.81, and you want to see that hold on a daily closing basis. You get a daily closure below it, the trade is scrapped. You're moving on. We don't do FOMO here. We trade professionally. So give it a minute to chill out. There was some bad news that came out on it last week about some fake shares or whatnot. So give it a chance to chill out. 1 day or 2 days is not enough of a chance to chill out. This thing absolutely slaughtered a lot of shorts. And it can continue, but you gotta wait for that pullback. Check it out. One good way to know if a market is overextended or not is use your moving averages. If you are trading days and days far above it, you know that eventually you will get a snap back to the mean, right? It happens all the time. It's the same thing. Once you get too completely overstretched in price, the momentum starts to wane and the sell orders start stacking up. That causes an exhaustion risk candle, or essentially a blow off top candle. That doesn't mean it's the top. It just means you had a lot of selling happening on that day. So yeah, let it come down, let it find support. If you're looking for bullish entries on it, might not be this week, dude. Might be next week, right? Or the week after. That's how price action works. It doesn't happen like that. It takes time for these setups to happen. Smash the like button, says a G. Thank you, a G, for that, my friend. I really appreciate it. And I do like it if you guys smash the like. I let the people in the chat ask for it. What's up, Henry? Hello, Marcel. Evening from London, Rocky. How you doing? Forget fiat. BC, please. BTC, please. All right, let's go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's traded as an inside day. I know you want it to be doing massive things, but it's not. The reality of the situation is Bitcoin's trading sideways today. All right, just today. All right, this is your inside day candle. Basically, what that means is you're not doing absolutely anything. So this is what you had. I'm going to lay out a narrative for you. There was your resistance. You traded into it. This is when people like to blame Elon, saying, oh, Elon's FUD master machine made Bitcoin sell off. Not necessarily. You were trading in resistance. Generally, things reject that resistance for the first time around. You did get that rejection, and it was a big one. So yes, maybe once you started to get some stops getting triggered, once you took out that low and that low, you got a little bit of continuation. This second bearish candle is a trending candle. It is taking out the low of this candle. That's bearish continuation. Here is going to be resistance if you trade back up into it, possibly, as that's your last area of support. All right, so you have to treat that as resistance because you did get your daily break above or below. So when are we no longer looking for this thing to keep heading lower? That's simple. If you take out this daily candle's high, then that means you have done something different, right? And then you can look for pullbacks and possibly get long, targeting your resistance zone. Right now, the short sellers are looking for this to head lower. This was the daily, right there, was your demand zone. You got a daily closure below it. As a rule of thumb, in a demand zone or a Heath level or an order block or at support, you get a close below it, you have to lean more towards that side. So now the closing price of that bearish candle, as it is the lowest daily close in this section of price action, that is your support. All right. So you're not necessarily looking to short it into support. You look to short it up here at resistance. So bears will be targeting that price, at which point they will probably take profits. All right. Then you may get a bounce and some consolidation. That level's 3, 4, 6, 2, 7. This is trading inside of a range. So if you're a range trader, sell resistance, buy support. This is not financial advice. All right. But this is simple as that. That's as simple as that. This thing looks bad, guys. It looks bad, right? It's not even getting up to the 38% retracement from this price leg to the downside. It can absolutely find support. I'm not saying it's going lower. I'm just saying watch this level right here, 34,627. If you get a daily closure below that price, you will be targeting that wick low right there. All right? This will be the first target, but since it's so close to support, and if Bitcoin does get that breakdown, I am assuming you are going to see a range expansion on the daily that will take you completely below that level. So this is the bearish target for the week incoming. Your bullish target for the week incoming will be this wick high right there, $40,900. That's going to be the bullish target if you start getting bullish momentum. As of right now, you are chopping back and forth sideways. There is nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do unless you buy support, right? If you're looking for a purchase down at 34,627, I'd say you're probably going to get that chance. You're probably going to get that chance unless you take out this daily's high. If you take that high out, then this area is holding as a demand zone and people bought it there. As demand makes price go up, too much supply makes price go down. It's looking droopy to me. It looks droopy. I mean, it looks like it's wanting to break out to the downside, guys. Unfortunately, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, right? Jordan is the perma bull. I am your wake-up call. I am the negative side of that quarter. Because at CTM and Trade Talk, we want you guys to position yourselves for success, all right? How can you look at this as, like, I mean, it is cheap. It's 50% off, right? I would definitely love to see some resistance levels start to get broken instead of support levels getting broken. So if I take you back over here, this was your resistance. Let's get rid of this triangle. It's a bear flag. That's what I'm trying to show you. Pattern traders are looking at it as a bear flag. I am not a pattern trader. But let's go to here. All right. So essentially when you have a blow off top or exhaustion, you have a massive expansion to the downside that can take several days to happen. That's what you got, right? It took 2 weeks to go from $59,000 down to $29,000, right? That's a massive move. So once you get that, you get what's called a dead cat bounce, where the market likes to trade back up. At that point, we were looking for the 618 to possibly offer up an area where you would see increased selling, as people will be offloading their positions. Not all people, but a lot of people, as they will be looking at that as Bitcoin's high. And they will be looking at this as a bear market phase starting. So they will be looking to exit their hodl positions at the 618. That's just a simple technical way to trade if you are a longer term hodler. So we were looking for a test of the 50 and the 618. You never even got that. If you use this price leg or this high down to this low, you can clearly see that you did not even test your 382. That's not good. However, this is just consolidation, right? But let's go look at it a little bit closer. This was your resistance level. This was the very first spot you needed a daily closure above on Bitcoin, because you did make a higher low. This is your lowest low. That's your capitulation low. This is your higher low. So in order for this trend change from a bearish trend or a downtrend to a bullish trend, is you must first get a break above your resistance level on a daily closing basis. Take out your lower high. That gives you a higher high. With a higher low, presto bango, you have a change trend, or trend change. Apologies. But if we play this bar replay through, you will see you never got that. In fact, what you did get is continuation selling to the downside. There's your bearish low. Boom. Daily closure below it, guys. Technical analysis works. Here is your bearish support. Boom. Daily close below that. That's not good. It's not good. But what I always teach people is if you get a close right at or right above or right below it, unless you're bullish, you need it above it. But below it, that's not good enough for me, as that's kind of what you would say suspect at best, right? Because if this was a strong move lower, you would have had a big candle range and a close down here, right? That's what you would have gotten. That's not what you got. So here you go. Boom. It's holding as support. Support has held once you take out that high. Boom. There it is. Right there. So what do? When that happens, you look for bullish entries. Where? The Heath level, of course. There you go. That's your entry. Let's see what happened. Boom. Took out the high. You are trending up. Okay? Then this happens. This is where bears would have been looking to sell. Right there. That is your supply area. They failed. All right? They failed. You got to close your above. This gave everybody hope. Yay. This is what you want to see. Buyers are back in this thing, right? Boom. Bitcoin. What are you doing, man? You're going the wrong way again. So I'm not liking the price action I'm seeing, guys. I just don't like it. This will end up being a bull trap if you get a break and close below this support. It's as simple as that, guys. Unfortunately, that's what it is. So you need to position yourself accordingly, please. Position yourself accordingly. Manage your downside risk. Michael Bacala says Heath equals fire. Thank you for the compliment, my friend. Yo, what's up, Jay Bradley? Yo, what up, Will? Good evening. And did that say Cuba? My chat just freaked out, and now I'm all the way back. There we go. Good evening, Cuban versus American cigar. Cuban juice. Cuban cigars are better. Of course, man. I live in Florida. South Florida at that. I love me a good Cuban sandwich with a little bit of dark, thick coffee. It almost looks like syrup. Cafe leche, or whatever. I don't know how to speak Spanish. A lot of great Cuban food down here. A lot of great. So yeah, of course, Cuban cigars are better. My opinion. Thanks, Heath. Love your no BS approach, hidden gem right here. Thank you so much, Alex. Fantastic compliment. Yeah, I do not BS anybody. And if you follow what I say and consistently put it to work, you will change your trading. Hey, Heath, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Could you please take a look at Aussie USD and USD JPY? I did look at it at the beginning of the stream. I looked at both of them. So it's 5:57. You wrote that at 5:35. I'm just very far behind on the chat, so I'm assuming I probably already checked it out for you. If not, drop it down in the bottom of the chat and I will look at it for you again. What's up, everybody? Says Ed D. What's happening, Ed? When a XAU USD opens 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in about an hour and 2 minutes, it will open. Euro USD, please sell position. Why do you want me? I don't have a bullish position on Euro USD, so I don't have to sell it. I'm not in Euro USD. Seems like a lot of booms today. Can we have a few booms for our dear Bitcoin? Yeah, unfortunately, I can't give Bitcoins any boom. I would love to give Bitcoin some booms, as my portfolio looks terrible, just like yours. Shares in IRCTC. Okay, if it's got five letters, that's generally either a penny stock, or B, it's not going to be on the NASDAQ. What do you call them? Pink sheet stocks. I'll go look at it though for you, but those aren't things you want to hold. Indian Rail Tour Corp. Oh, it is on the New York Stock Exchange. Wow. Oh my God, and it's got a lot. It's expensive. Well, look at me looking like an idiot. It's bullish. Oh my gosh. So what is this? Indian Rail Tour Corporation? So it's new, fairly new, a couple years old. It's not had a bearish quarter. It has not had one bearish quarter in its entire history of being alive. So it's a very bullish stock. Very bullish. This was a fake out. This is what you call a bear trap. So here's your resistance. There's your close below support. Sorry. There's your close below support right there. So how do you know if it's not a bear trap or a bull trap? That's what I get asked frequently. I will say it this way. The next day, watch the next day. If you get a fantastic bullish reversal like that, then you know this is a bear trap. You don't immediately buy it. You wait for a pullback into the old support. That is your bullish entry. There is nothing to do on it right now as you are coming into resistance. You do not short support and you do not buy resistance. You got to wait for a pullback. So where are you going to be waiting on your pullback to? At least, at the very minimum, 1761, right? That's your daily demand zone. If there is demand for this asset, it will be bought up there, right? If this is going to be a trend change, because you did make a lower low, if this is going to be a higher low, then you won't know that until you get all the way down here to complete it, right? But people that are front running this expecting that, this is a weekly, sorry. Anyways, but anybody that's expecting that will more than likely get ran over. So that's your weekly resistance. You are forming up right under it. That's beautiful to see. It's probably going to get broken. It's probably going to go up, right? So you don't have to wait for a weekly pullback all the way down to 1761 if you're looking for bullish entries. There are a couple spots a little bit higher than that, like this one here, 1862. This would be a good entry for bullish setups, but you're only trading to resistance. Your target will be resistance. You take most of the profit off. You leave a little bit on your stop to break even. Therefore, your risk is off the table completely, and you made money on the trade. Then, if it has a big bullish continuation and just trends for the next 18 years, you just consistently make money and you don't have to do anything. That's why I trade the way that I trade, right? I am a scalper, but every trade I am looking for it to turn into a swing trade. That's what everybody wants. It just doesn't happen like that. So yeah, that level right there. That would be a fantastic level to look for bullish entries as well, because you would get underneath all these wicks, aka stops. Boom. That would be a perfect spot to look for bullish entries. You do not want to see a daily closure below that. You get a daily closure below that, you're heading lower. All right? As long as you're maintaining daily closures above 1862, you can look for bullish entries. If you're in it for a long-term hodl and you bought like way down here because you hold it in some retirement account or something, just don't do anything. You're sitting pretty. When you're in a winning trade, you don't have to do anything. It's the people that are losing money that have to move. They are the ones that have to make the moves, not you. You're winning. The losers got to make the moves. So I hope that helps. Breakdown. Oh, I didn't do ETH. I did do Bitcoin, but I'll go do ETH right now, because it is the Forex Weekly Outlook. But after I get the Forex pairs done, I don't mind looking at any asset you guys want, as you are the almighty chat, and I love you guys. So I will look at anything you want me to look at. ETH did give us a little ray of hope, a little better than Bitcoin did, because you did get a break above resistance. So this was resistance on ETH. There's your daily closure above it, which is fantastic. Because then what you're looking for is you're looking for a pullback into a ETH level. Right there it is. That's when you look to get into a bullish trade, right? And then you would be targeting your first resistance would have been the opening price of this bullish candle. You can see how it acted as resistance for this day, and this day. It was only on this day that you finally got that break and close above. So ETH has essentially changed around its trend. There's your low, there's your lower low. Oh, no, it hasn't. You haven't taken out the high. Sorry. You only took out bullish resistance, but you did not make a higher high, as that high right there is still left unchecked. However, this looks better than Bitcoin. Whereas Bitcoin is trading on the low end of things, ETH is trading on the high end of things. But it is still going to be looked at as a bear flag, unfortunately. Because there it is. Boom, boom. It's a pretty steep one, so I don't like that. Let's go to an 8 hour and see if we can get a prettier one going on here. So that capitulation wick, just leave it alone, as this is more of your methodical price action. So something like that, right? If you don't want an 8 hour closure below it, otherwise something has changed, okay, on the longer term. So back to the daily, ETH looks better than Bitcoin. It does. Even yesterday, or Friday's bearish day, Friday's bearish day doesn't look nearly as bad as Bitcoin's, because you didn't take out support. This would have been your support. You didn't take it out on that day. You took it out yesterday. So, once again, I find myself in a conundrum. You definitely need a bullish push out of this area. If you get that, then you can start looking for possible bullish entries. Alright, it definitely looks better than Bitcoin. With that being said, you did just suffer a 60% loss 3 weeks ago. So the bears are in control, unfortunately. Just keep that in mind. But it definitely looks better than Bitcoin as far as this price action versus this price action, if that makes any sense. Still looks bad, but it looks better. Alright, so what just happened to the chat? I don't know why the chat does that. Like, it'll be fine and then just glitch out. So I did that. Just give me 1 second to try to find my place here. Apologies. Joining for the first time. Thank you for joining. I don't know if I can pronounce Becky. Becky. I don't know how to pronounce your name, and apologies if I'm destroying it. I did not mean to do so. Joining for the first time, welcome. Why the resistance if it's not the reasons people are saying it's happening for? What? Smart one, you have to rephrase that question for me, please. Why the resistance if it's not the reasons people are saying it's happening for? I don't know what you're saying is happening, right? If you could rephrase that, I will try my best to answer it, unfortunately. How to find demand and supply zone. I'm showing you that, my friend. I'm showing you that. If you are new to the channel, there are tons and tons of stuff on that channel that will teach you. There's even a beginner trader's, if you're a beginner trader, it says beginner trader start here, playlist. That would be a great spot to start. Great spot. Poeta Bogan says rum and coke. Nope, Sprite and vodka. You didn't see that coming, did you? See, I figured out something that most people don't know. If you take citron vodka and mix it with Sprite, it is a fantastic flavored cocktail. Fantastic. I used to drink rum and coke all the time until I found this drink. I love it. It's my favorite. And I'm drinking it out of a 32-ounce cup. So what does that say about my character? Alright, moving on. What's up, Connor? How you doing, my friend? Do you think Bitcoin will break 30K? I don't make price predictions, Boyd. If you're new here, welcome. But I don't make price predictions. I let price tell me what it's going to do. I base my trading decisions off of price action. So we have to wait and see. Because it can be picked up here. Like, buyers can absolutely step in. Anything could happen tomorrow. Like, it's highly unlikely, but the Fed could come out and say, we're going to start using Bitcoin as our nation's currency. Boom. Then are you going to get a breakdown at 30K? Absolutely not. This thing would probably trade to 1 million in a week if that were to happen. The markets are 100% random. It's impossible to make predictions. People do it, and when those predictions play out, people like to congratulate themselves like I just did at the beginning of this video on the pound trade, right? But I technically wasn't making a prediction as the price was telling me what it was going to do. So, or what it could do. Let me rephrase that. What it was more probable to do. The probable outcome on Bitcoin right now, gun to my head, Heath, is it going to go higher or lower? I'd have to say lower. I would have to say lower, and it pains me to say that as I'm still long Bitcoin, right? I don't want it to go lower. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, though. It doesn't matter to me what it does, because I'm just going to keep buying it. Because longer term, I do believe Bitcoin will be extremely expensive. It's a fantastic asset, and a lot of people like it, right? And the gains that comes from this asset is unlike anything anybody has ever seen before. From $0 to where it is now, Bitcoin has outperformed every single asset, every single one. It's insane. It's a fantastic asset, and I love what it stands for. I love what it's about, but this price action doesn't look good. Right? You have to go with the trend. And right now the trend is to the downside. Until you start getting some bullish breaks above resistance, you are trending lower. It's staring you in the face. Like, I'm not saying it. Price is saying it. So, I don't know. But it looks like it wants to. Like I said, ETH looks better. And that could just be. That could be saying something. Like. Right? I mean, generally these patterns break out to the downside. It's a bearish formation. So, I mean, we'll just have to see what happens. Can it go up and make new all-time highs? Absolutely. It can. Absolutely it can. I hope it does. Because I hold a lot of ETH and I hold a lot of Bitcoin. I absolutely want them to go higher. But it looks like it wants to go lower. Wake up call, 19K to 22K resistance becomes support. 19K, yeah, it's going to take a long time to get to 19K, probably a week or two. This ETH, let me go over here. Yeah, a long time, my friend. I mean, if it gets back down to 19K, something bad is going on, because Bitcoin's never done that in its entire history. Once it's broke out, I don't care what it did in the past, I'm just saying the trend has been, once it breaks out of an old all-time high, it never goes back to it. So that would be fantastically terrible, right? Fantastically terrible. Here is your monthly. I will show you. Once you break out above your all-time high, you never revisit it. There's your new all-time high. You got to break out. So in this case, that was the first time it ever happened. So I'll take that back. It did do it once, right? Because that was your all-time high. You did revisit it, but you traded away from it. And then here is the glorious, marvelous 2017 microcycle when you took out your old all-time high, and look, you never revisited it. Never revisited it. So basically, here is your old all-time high. If you revisit it, you've done something different. All. In my opinion, if you do that, all of these fantastic charts are being posted on Twitter are done. They're broken. It's over. I'm not saying that that's going to happen at all. I'm not saying that. But the trend has been basically straight up on Bitcoin. It's a fantastic asset. I love it. This is why I keep buying it. And I always will. Always will. I believe Bitcoin can change people's lives if they would just buy it with an amount of money they don't care about losing. Don't try to buy it with 100x. Don't go sell your house and buy it like Michael Saylor said. Don't do that. That is stupid. If you do it reasonably, right? Here's $1,000. I got 50 grand in my savings account. Boom. I can afford to buy $2,000 or $3,000 worth of Bitcoin and just sit on it and never worry about it again. You do it like that, you would find that investing becomes a whole lot easier. When you go 100x on an asset at all-time highs and you get hurt, then you like to say the market's manipulated and all this and that. It's, come on, there's a smart way to do this stuff, guys. A smart way and a wrong way. But I don't know, 19K means bad stuff. You mean kinda sus.
I think that's when you got tongue-tied.
What?
I think that's when you got tongue-tied.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah, suspect. Kinda sus is the new way. I'm an old man, guys. I'm not hip with the new lingo. Yeah, it's definitely sus. Wow, Bitcoin. Absolutely. Your TA is well explained. Thank you, Craig Morrison. I appreciate that. Hello from Turkey, bro. What's up? Turkey's in the house. Thank you for being here. Greeting from Montreal, Quebec. Nice. I want to go to Montreal. I've never been to Canada, and I'm going to go. Maybe next year. First time here, says YSL Ken. Welcome, YSL Ken. Your range videos taught me a lot. Thank you. I'm glad that could help. I'm glad I could help. That's the whole reason for bringing out the YouTube channel, guys. It's just to help you guys. There's a lot of garbage out there that's teaching you wrong. This will help. It will absolutely help. Hey, Mr. Trade Talk, says Jessup Pilo. Jason here, or Jaso here from Manipur, northeast state of India. Oh, wow. Welcome. I love Indian cuisine. I love it. It's my favorite. Please give analysis on Euro USD. I did do it at the beginning, and I did do Aussie, but since you guys are asking, and I don't see anything at the bottom of the channel, at the bottom of the chat. To be clear, I traded on and off your trade support and resistance. Do you use candle formation and volume? I don't use volume, Connor. I do not. I only watch price, candlesticks. That's it. That's all you need. It simplifies your TA, and it gives you exact points to look at. You know how, like, I say trend lines are subjective? Because they are. Trend lines are subjective. Everything in trading is subjective except your high, open, low, and close. That is not subjective. Not subjective, subjective. It's not. Your high, open, low, and close is set in stone. It's not subjective. It is what it is. It's the only thing that is not subjective, but yet people still tend to want to use all the subjective stuff in trading when there is a simple, not subjective thing that's staring them right in the face every single day. A high, a low, an open, and a close of your previous day. That tells you a lot. It tells you a lot. That's why back in the 50s and the 60s, before we had this fantastic technology, traders on the New York Stock Exchange floor would draw the high, open, low, and closes on napkins because they realized back then how important those 4 data points are. It has gotten completely swept up in the wake of all this new garbage on YouTube, and all of it is exactly that, garbage. 100%. The open, high, low, and close for the last 3 days. That's all you need. That gives you a trade idea. It's that simple. But let me go back up there and see if I can make sense of this question. Apologies. I like to rant if you haven't noticed. Can you look at Bumble stock, please? Earnings was up 5,000%. Damn it. Yeah, let me go look at it. And I did miss Gisop asking for analysis on Euro USD. I did do Euro USD and Aussie. Oh, I didn't do Aussie dollar, so I will do Aussie dollar. Let me go look at this Bumble stock. I don't know the ticker, so I'm just going to type in Bumble and see what happens. Yep, Bumble Inc. Look at that. I have never traded it. I don't know what it is. It's going down. It's in a downtrend. Here's your IPO, your initial public offering, right here. Right? That's your initial public offering. 75.87. It's done nothing but go down ever since. It's in a downtrend. Is it something you want to buy? Are you looking to invest in it for longer term? Is it a company that has solid financials and they're not in debt and they're killing it and the product they make is absolutely must have and all that stuff? Then yeah, pick it up. It's cheap, right? It's way cheaper than IPO price. So pick it up. If you're looking to day trade it, you're only looking for shorts. Here is your resistance right there, as that's your last bullish daily close. Here is your support. Now, your support was all the way up here, but now it's down here. So you've made a new support. Kudos. You tested resistance. You failed. Not only did you failed, you are also heading lower. You're looking for short side setups. First area of support is going to be all the way down here on a daily. That's terrible. You could probably maybe look that area first, 42.03. I don't know, but it's in a downtrend. I would stay far, far away from it. Aussie dollar. Let me go back over here. Forex. Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar's not been doing anything, which is another reason why I chose to trade the pound on Thursday instead of the euro and the Aussie. It's just not doing anything. It's so freaking disgusting. I hate it. This thing, when it moves, right? Look at that trend on Aussie. It's so beautiful. A lot of people made a lot of money on Aussie back in last March when they bought it because they were like, well, it's cheap. Might as well buy it. Wow, was that not a great call? Right? Look at that. Yeah, I think I'll buy it down here because, well, it's almost as cheap as it's ever been. And boom, straight up for almost a year and a half. Here you go, though. You've been trading absolutely sideways for not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Almost a half a year. You have not done anything. So, stay away from it. I don't know what else to say. Here is your first area of resistance. Your first one. 770 spot 77538. If you get a daily closure above that, your next resistance is going to be 77756, and so on and so forth. Then 77913. These ranges are not that big and they're extremely tight, and you are trading all over the place. You did get a massive break below resist or support. All right, this was the lowest bearish closing candle. That's why it was support until you got this close. We would have expected a push up into 77.0 spot, or sorry, I have a little bit of a buzz. 0 spot 77080. That's an area where we would have wanted to see failure if this was going to continue to the downside. And it still may continue to the downside, right? You are losing all your bullish momentum. You are under your 50 spot on the RSI. Let me make sure I get it at 50 before I say that. Otherwise, I will be wrong. Let's see. Yeah, you're under your 50 spot on the RSI. So you lost all of your bullish momentum, right? You're trading, oh my gosh, your moving averages are compressing, meaning they're tightening in on price. This is looking like it's wanting to roll over to me. It does, right? Are you closing dailies below your 21? You are. So, and not the 50, but the 21's right there. I'm looking for short side setups on the Aussie. That's all I can say. It looks to me like it wants to roll over. So I'm going to wait and see what happens. So this is my game plan going forward on the Aussie dollar. All right. I'm assuming that eventually this thing's going to roll over. If the dollar does catch, if the dollar starts to get sold off again, this will move up, obviously. Even if it doesn't move up as hard or as fast or big as euro and the pound. But if the dollar goes down, this will go up. But it's a lot weaker than your other majors, which is why I say it's probably best if you focus on the majors like Euro USD and Pound USD, because this thing's not been doing anything. This is your first break, so yeah, you're probably gonna head lower. You could trade in this range for a couple days because this was a pretty big range candle, and you're inside. You're probably gonna stay inside on Monday as well. We'll see what happens. Daily closure above 77538, then you could say, hey, you've made a new high, right? Even though you did put in a new low, you did just make a new high. So it's sideways at best. It's sideways at best. Just leave it alone, please. For now. I will let you guys know when I'm looking at the Aussie dollar. Please give me now on Euro USD. I did Euro USD. This is what we're looking for on Euro USD. It looks like it wants to head lower, all right? But if the dollar moves up, this is going to go lower. If the dollar moves down, this is going to go up. It's heavily weighted in the dollar, the US dollar. There was your support level. There's your daily break above it. Here's your retest. You did close fairly below it, but not very far below it. I do not like it when you close that close to resistance if I'm looking for shorts, as it means, hey, there's still some bullish momentum in this asset. So if you get a daily close above 1 spot 21758, there's nothing to do. We do have a bullish and a bearish target for this upcoming week on the Euro USD. Bullish target is 1 spot 22545. bearish target is 1.21040. All right. I will be looking for the bullish target if we get a daily closure above 121.758. If we stay below 121.758, I will be looking for this bearish target. All right. And that's what I'm looking for on the euro. Cake coin to the moon. Okay, I don't know what Cake coin is. UTK on YTD. What is UTK on YTD? I don't understand that. Thank you, Zero Silverhawk, for the fire symbol. Sadly, Bitcoin dominance will still affect everything. Yep, it will. Use 7-Up. Oh, for the drink? I'll give that a try. They said to use 7-Up, baby. We'll give it a shot. Loving it. Strong character. Thank you. Can you look at 1 inch and Solana? Yeah, let's go look at 1 inch. I don't remember the ticker. Is it 1 inch? Yeah, that's 1 inch. That is the ticker. Tether USD on Coinbase. Let's give Coinbase a shot. Nice. See, this is different than Bitcoin. How so? Well, you're taking out closes on a daily basis. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear my music. You're taking out closes on a daily closing basis. This is nice. This is what you want to see. Bitcoin's doing the exact opposite. It's stalling at resistance and rolling over. Here was your last bullish resistance to get above. You got above it. This one, you got above it. This one, you got above it. It's fantastic. So what you're going to be looking for is you're going to be looking for a support test. Now, your first Heath level is right here. Okay, this bearish opening price at 3.49. If you get a test of that and you hold it on a daily closing basis, you may be able to look for longs. However, you're only going to be looking for longs up into the 618 and the 50 spot. Retracement of this push lower right here. So you are at the 382 right now. Good news, your 50 and 618 is above this Heath level. This right there. That is a supply zone. So fantastic. You may be able to get a bullish position going all the way up to $4.70. Maybe, right? But you first must get that support test and you first must hold it. Now, I don't like this one so close. Let's go look at an intraday chart. Yeah, it looks like it's running out of steam. So I wouldn't necessarily use this one first, right? Let's go back to that daily. I seen a level I liked better, and it's this lower one here. Right there. All right? A test down to that, as long as it holds a support, that would be a fantastic risk to reward as well. All right? But it looks a lot better. It did get a daily close above resistance. That's epic. That's your resistance. That's your close right there. Boom, boom. And today, look at that. Continuation to the upside. Price tells you everything. Unfortunately, like I said, you've got massive areas right above you that will act as resistance. This level first, the midpoint of this candle will also act as resistance, as here was your old support. That's what you're fighting with right now, to be honest with you. You can use old support levels if prices only traded through it once and used a massive expansion candle to do so. That means that that support level is still intact. So this is what you're struggling against right now. So don't get too bullish too quick. Wait for this thing to pull back to a decent support zone. Make sure it holds that support. Then you can look for bullish entries. But it's fantastic. It's looking a lot bullish than everything else. Except for Matic, and there's a couple other ones, but you know what I'm saying. It looks better than Bitcoin. Let's just say that. I don't know what YTD means, Ergen. If you could tell me, I mean, I don't know what it is. Year to date, ONT, YTD. So let me just type in ONT, YTD. Okay, that gives me nothing. So you want ONT USD and YTD USD. All right, Ontology. Let's go to Binance. Nope, we're gonna use Binance US because it's not calculated by TradingView. Looks exactly like Bitcoin. Oh my gosh, your daily resistance is all the way up here at 1.6572. As long as you're trading below it, you're not looking for bullish entries. This thing is trading on lows. It's accumulating on lows. This is a bear flag, right? A bear flag pattern. But this is the problem. Here was your next resistance, and you couldn't even get to it before you took out the bullish run. This would have been your support zone to hold here. You didn't. Now you're testing it from the upside, underneath side of price. My opinion is this is a short. It's a short setup. Looking for shorts down to this wick low. This wick first and then this wick. Boom, boom. 1, 2 targets. It's going lower. Or it looks like it wants to go lower. And what was the other one? It can find support down here though. It can. But right now, price action looks terrible. But it's Saturday and Sunday, guys. Your main volume is going to come into the market tomorrow and Tuesday. That's when you're going to get your weekly opening range. That's what you're going to be looking for. That weekly opening range. Hopefully, we get a weekly opening range to the upside. But this asset looks like it's going lower. And then YTD, USD, nothing. Was it YDT? Nope, YTD is what you said. ONT, YTD, USD, nothing. YTD, oh, there it is. Oh, what is this? I don't even know what this is, my friend. I don't trade it. I don't know what it is. I doubt this is what you're... Yeah, there's nothing to do there. When you're getting ticks on the daily, leave it alone. It's nothing. No, nothing. Great session. It's 8 a.m. here on the Gold Coast of Australia. Well, good morning. Good to wake up to some good TA. Looking forward to great trading week. Thanks, Heath and the CTM family. You are more than welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Greetings from Guana. Welcome. Well, it's probably not Guana. It's Ghana. Welcome, my friend. It's going down now. Jordyville. Or Jaderville. What's going down now? There's a lot of stuff going down now. I don't know what you're talking about. My friend wanted to learn to trade. I referred him to your videos. Thank you very much for that. Man, I don't know how to pronounce a lot of these names, guys. I really apologize in advance for that. It's not my fault. I'm a dumb American. They didn't teach us how to read. No, I'm joking. That was just a joke. It's hard to read those names, though. Let me see here. Where was I? There we go. Mindy A. What's the difference between Discord and join channel? Alright, so I don't talk about this stuff specifically unless asked because it makes me feel like a YouTube shill, like all the other YouTube shills out there. So I will answer the question. The YouTube join is for, it's just a channel membership. It's just a way for you to say thank you, Heath, for your work. YouTube, basically you give them money and they give me half of it, right? That's all it is. The $1 or the $2 membership, it's $1.99. It's just to say thank you. It's just a way for you to donate. $5.99 or the $5 level, the prop firm tier, I do an extra member and Patreon only live session for those members above the, like at the prop firm level. And that's what it is. I do have a Patreon too, the same, but the Patreon starts at $5. And then the $25 is for the Discord that I reluctantly started. So I don't like talking about it because I feel like a shill. But there's information in the description. AITX, Rad, excuse me, Rad Top Dealer, Allied Universal, 2 major acquisitions in 2021, now 1.3 million security guards, now number 4 in U.S. employer, and thousands of new contracts. Rad, sales may triple in 2021. Let's go look at it, my friend. It sounds fantastic. You absolutely sold me on it. Let's go look at it. What is it, though? Is it just, it's Rite Aid Corporation? No, it's not Rite Aid. You said it was, AITX. Let me go see here. AITX. Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions. Yeah, I don't know what you're asking. AITX. Red Top Dealer, Allied Universal. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is this it? No, it can't be. That's artificial intelligence. That's not security. I don't know what you're asking me, Donald. If you could, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, sorry. And I don't have anything on RAD either. RAD. I mean, that's right. RAD is Rite Aid.
Might be ALTX.
Oh, ALTX. Let's try that. ALTX. I don't know if that's it either. I don't know if he's shilling me or if he... I mean, not shilling, but... I don't know what it is. Sorry. Happy that you're still live. Oh, welcome, Kimberly. I'm in Sarasota. Nice. Welcome. I live in Florida myself. Can you please look at DOT? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go look at DOT. Fantastic. Polka dot. It did take out resistance. This one, right? You're trading that down at support right now. All right, let's get rid of this as that is no longer in play. You do have a higher resistance up here, but make no mind of that as you are starting a channel, right? So this is exactly what a bear flag looks like when it starts to make itself out. But we can still have hope, right? A little bit of hope never hurt anybody. I'm trying to get this up. That's not it. Let's see if that looks better. So there you go, right? Definitely don't want to see a breakdown below that channel. It is making higher highs and higher lows, no doubt about it. So it looks better than Bitcoin does as well. This was your resistance right here. This, you see how this daily candle did what it did? Pierced right above resistance and traded all the way up to here. So the midpoint of this candle is that resistance level. So this candle basically verified that this level was important, right? And now you're below it. All right, that's not good. You are still kind of sort of holding support, which would be this level here. You're bearish open. You're testing it. This is an inside day and it looks droopy. It looks like resistance or support is going to fail, is what it looks like. If you do get a failure at support there at 23.28, as that is the support zone that was tested yesterday, it has not been tested yet today. 23.28. Your next level to look for support test would be 21.39. That does not mean that it will hold there. That's just your next area to look for support. All right. Yeah, because you will probably, if you lose that level and the close of that bearish candle, you are coming down there to 21.39. If it holds here and then catches a bid, then yay, dot, right? But if you're holding this, like I said, guys, all of these things are going to look exactly the same. You do have your 618 above you, right? Here you go. What the heck was that? That was not right. Let's try this again. So here is your levels to watch, right? Your 618. What is going on, TradingView? So there it is, right? 50% retracement level, 618. These two levels, you got to get a daily close above them, as that indicates repair. Anything lower than that indicates a selling opportunity, and it's just the way it is. But bullish momentum heading up looks better than bullish momentum not doing anything like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is literally trading sideways to down. Any tips on USD/JPY? Yeah, I discussed it a little bit earlier on into the stream. I'm not going to mess with it. It's as simple as that. It's trading crazy, right? Here's your bullish move up, holding support, looking good, trading in a channel, and then boom, bearish engulfing on Friday. So I'm not going to mess with it. You're testing support right now. You've already tested it today. So you're probably more than likely going to trade all the way up to like 177, and that might be a short opportunity. I wouldn't short it because you haven't closed below support yet. So this could still just be a pullback into support for bulls to pick it back up. It's just crazy. It's just trading crazy. You know what I mean? Like you're barely above that. You're below this level. So you're like sideways to slightly up. I guess you could call that price action. I just don't like it. It's not trending that great. It may trend great later on down the road, because as long as the interest rates in America stay above 1.5, it looks attractive for the carry trade, because the US or the JPY is at negative their interest rates. So just holding it long gives you a swap. You could just hold it long for the swap, for that alone. If you have a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, you could just make money on the carry trade. But as of right now, the price action is crazy. It is moving higher. Tips on gold USD. Just wait for it to pull back to, what was it? 1837 spot 48. That's the level at which I would be interested in buying it. UK 100, please. Loving the content, Denkar. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, US 100 is the same thing as the S&P 500, if I ain't mistaken. Let's see. Nope, it's the NASDAQ. Apologies. Oh, you said UK. UK 100. All right, here we go. UK 100. Oh, that's versus the pound. Oh, is it the pound? Yeah, that's what it is. All right, so here we go. It's bullish. I looked at this thing a while back. It's doing exactly this. Oh, I just deleted my indicators again. I have a bad habit of doing that. That's okay. Here they are. I mean, it's trading sideways at highs. It's similar to S&P 500 price action. It's a little bit lower. There's your resistance right there on the UK 100. This thing works exactly the same way as the S&P 500. Let me hit this and then hit this. All right, so year to date, here we are. So get your line there. Pop it on there. So year to date, how far are we up on this asset? I don't live in the UK, so I'm not as familiar as to what its average is, but you're up 11% on the year, right? If it's anything like the S&P 500, you've exhausted your yearly average gain already. So you could see some selling, but as long as our governments keep buying assets, I would say keep buying this. You know what I mean? But don't buy it where it is now. You should have bought it Friday morning or whenever it made that low, testing your support right there. That's your trade, right? Down here, right there. So on a retest of that level, that's your trade. You are targeting up here and you are still inside on the day. So maybe the next day you get it open and it's full trading day, you may take out targets. But there's nothing to do where it currently is, because currently you are possibly testing resistance. Okay? You did get a close above that supply zone, so technically it may be safe. It's one of those things. It's wedging itself up nice and tight. It's starting to trade inside of a range and chop people up. It's getting difficult. So generally I'm trying to click open my indicators and I deleted them. Generally means you could be running out of steam or you're preparing for a big breakout to the upside. It's bullish as of right now. Just go with the trend. It's bullish and the governments are buying it all up. Anticipating strength this week. Dollar strength. No, not so much. Not so much. The near-term trend is down. You took out your dollar target last week. So, I mean, can it technically go up? Absolutely. But this was our target. You took that out. You have not taken out any support. This would have been your first area. You tested it. You're still closed above it. So, I mean, technically, you are starting a trend to the upside. So you could look for possible bullish strength or dollar strength next week. But the overall trend, my friend, is down. All right? The overall trend is down. I would use that, but I mean, it's just going to make it look ugly. I mean, something like that, right? Maybe a breakout to the upside, look for more strength. But ultimately, I am expecting weakness on the dollar. Got a massive resistance level right up there at 91,294. That'll probably be as high as it goes if it does go up. That'd be a fantastic spot to look for some short side setups. Not on the first attempt, though. On the first attempt, you'll probably push way beyond that. and then trade back down below it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, you're at a quarterly open, right? This going to hold as resistance for a bit, or support. You had several weeks trading down here with no ability to break below it. Here's your bear trap right there. Boom. You got a daily close below support, and then basically an engulfing to the upside. Not quite engulfing, I see that, but you have your trend. Came back in for a retest of support. It held. Boom. So yeah, you have started an uptrend. But ultimately, longer term, I am looking for this thing to roll back over and start to trend to the downside. You are at a quarterly support. Let's get rid of all stuff and say, there's your quarterly support. You're trading at it. Trading at it. Technically, you got to break below it there. So this is now support. You've already went below it, but a close below it is what you need for continuation to the downside on a quarterly and yearly basis. I'm looking for more lower dollars. Yeah, more downside ultimately. But this week, yeah, you can see some bullishness. Absolutely. I know where the lines go. Only for the wisdom, guys. Spend time on beginner playlists. It will change your life. Thank you, Juice, so much for your support, your continued support, my friend. And thank you all for that as well. So I've been on for almost 2 hours, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for the super chat. It just popped up on my end. Thanks for the goods, dude, says Travis Hagan. Thank you so much, my friend, for your support. Thank you so much. Yeah, so basically, if you're new, guys, I go live every Tuesday morning. Every Tuesday morning at 5:30 a.m. I know it's early if you live in the U.S., but I do it for other people. Like, I am going to get off the live stream for the New York Open, because that's my bread and butter. That's where I make my living, so that's where I'm going to be. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 a.m. I do about an hour-long stream to about 6:30ish, 6:40ish. And then Saturdays I do a Crypto Weekly Outlook, and Sunday I do the FX Weekly Outlook. And Saturday I don't have a set in stone time, but Sunday is usually at 5 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, I will. Oh, DXY. I just did it. Let me see here what's going on. Yeah, I just did it. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for being here. I always must say thank you to my channel members and Patreons, as it is I am very, very thankful for them. It shows me that people enjoy my work. So thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Guys, we are currently possibly looking for some dollar bullishness this week. So just be careful. And it may head lower. We don't know yet, but as of right now, the DXY does look like it's wanting to try to go higher. So I'll keep you posted. Tuesday morning, I will come out with a new stream, and we will have more data by then. All right. Once we got that data, then we can decide what kind of setups we can look for. So just hang on to it. If you see a clear setup Monday morning, then by all means. But if nothing looks clear, wait for Tuesdays. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the best days to look for setups. Thank you guys so much for being here. Once again, thank you for your support. Make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading, everybody. I didn't